Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to our webinar, Navigating City Contracting Opportunities, presented by Council President Harris Dawson. We're very happy that you could join us today. We've got some great useful information to share. We have excellent presenters, and our intention is, of course, to support you in your pursuit of public contracting opportunities in the city of Los Angeles. So I will just take us over to the agenda slide. This workshop is part of the CDAP, which is short for Contractor Development and Bonding Program. And we're, of course, looking forward to sharing about this regionally sponsored program and its many no-cost offerings. But we're also excited to welcome representatives from LA City Public Works, LA DWP, the Port of Los Angeles, and LAWA to share about upcoming opportunities, certifications, the dedicated support that they offer, and all of the ways to best pursue the abundance of opportunities in our city. So as we move through the workshop, please feel free to submit any questions using the Zoom Q&A feature. We have a dedicated CDAP account manager assigned to managing that chat, and she'll be responding to questions as we go. If you have questions for any of the representatives that present today, just stick around till the end, and we will have time for some Q&A. Before we move into today's presentation, it's my pleasure to share a warm welcome video from Los Angeles City Council President Marqueece Harris Dawson. We're honored to have Council President Harris Dawson's support for this program and for small, local, and diverse contractors across the city. As the representative of Council District 8 and a longtime community and labor leader, he has consistently focused on equitable economic development, workforce opportunity, and making sure that public investments benefits the communities most impacted by them. So throughout his time in public office, Council President Harris Dawson has been committed to improving access to city contracting, strengthening accountability, and ensuring that small businesses have a fair shot in competing and growing. And those priorities align so closely with the goals of this program, which is designed to help contractors better navigate city processes and position themselves for opportunity. So we're grateful for his leadership and support. With that, I am pleased to share the welcome remarks.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our January Outreach Workshop. We're looking forward to a new year filled with opportunities for our communities and our small business. This new year is a reset and a recommitment. Here in South LA, we know it's making sure our residents and our local businesses have access to every single tool available to build wealth and to strengthen our neighborhoods. My own journey from serving as CEO of Community Coalition and now as the City Council President has shown me just how transformational it is when local entrepreneurs are given their fair shot, when small contractors get access to real opportunities, and we create jobs and ownership right in our own neighborhoods. That's why I'm so pleased to join Meriwether and Williams. And with CDAP, they have a track record of leveling the playing fields for small, local, minority-owned, women-owned contracting firms, providing services that remove the obstacles that too often keep talented businesses from competing for opportunities. Today's workshop is designed to help you navigate the process, so I encourage you to take full advantage of the expertise here. Ask questions, build relationships, and let this be just the first step in positioning your business for growth and opportunity in 2026 and beyond. As the city prepares for significant infrastructure investments in the next few years, there's never been a better time for businesses in District 8 and across the city to step forward and to step up. Together, let's open the doors, strengthen our local economy, build a more equitable and a more prosperous Los Angeles, starting right here in South LA. Thank you, and I'll turn it back to our host to get us started.
Wonderful. Thank you to Council President Harris Dawson for those thoughtful remarks and for his continuous support. And with that,
good afternoon, everybody.
With that, we'll move into today's workshop. Rosa Osorio is is the program manager for the Small Business Contractor Support Program that has brought us all here today, the CDAP. And I will turn it over to Rosa, who's here to share about CDAP's many offerings, from bid alerts to trainings, workshops, one-on-one support. Welcome, Rosa.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for making the time to be here with us today. This is our first Council District Workshop for 2026. So Happy New Year to everybody. And next slide, please. So a little bit about us is we are a full service property and casualty employee benefit, retirement, personal lines, insurance brokers firm. We offer aligned risk management and specialty programs, safety and loss prevention programs. But what we're really known for is our bonding, technical assistance, and contract finance programs, which we administer in San Francisco, Los Angeles, Alameda County, Fresno, and Charlotte, North Carolina. We have been able to enable small and emerging contractors to obtain bonding over $1 billion, which means that, a lot of our contractors come to us because one of the biggest hurdles that they encounter when bidding on public opportunities is bonding. And so with our support, with the city's support, we've been able to get them that bonding that they need to be able to bid and grow their business. We're happy to report that over the years, our loss ratio has been less than 1%. And to just give you a little bit of insight is that the normal ratio loss in the surety industry is about 25%. So we are proud to say that when contractors use our services and our support to get the bonding, we also help them complete these projects successfully. So there's no any claims, which, add to this loss ratio. So again, with our support, our contractors are successful. We've also been able to assist over $6 million in contract-based financings. We also know that financing is one of the other hurdles that contractors face on construction projects. Next slide, please. So the program purpose and mission is to reduce the barriers of bonding capacity, enabling greater and successful participation of small, local, women, and disabled veteran-owned businesses in public contract opportunities. And the way we do that is by what we call the 4 pillars of contractor development, which consist of the assessment and technical assistance, the bonding, contract, financing and project assistance, our education and training support, and our prime contractor partnerships. Next slide, please. So what is bonding? Bonding is a 3-party agreement that guarantees a contract completion, which protects another party, not the subcontractor. So it protects the project owner, not the contractor. It cannot be purchased. It must be, you must qualify for it. So it's kind of like obtaining a bank loan. You have to qualify for it. And unlike insurance, no losses are expected. So like when you get your car insurance and you pay a monthly payment because they are expecting you to have an accident. With bonds, it's the opposite. You pay a one-time premium for a bond and they expect you to have 0 losses. And why do we need bonding? So bonding is mandated by law on public works projects. On the federal level, we have the HURD Act of 1894 and the Miller Acts of 1935 that say that payment and performance bonds are required on any project over 100,000. On the state and local level, we have the Little Miller Act, which varies by state. So we encourage you to research the state or the public entity that you're bidding on to see if there's bonding requirement. The performance bond ensures that owners receive a finished product at a negotiated price, which means that once you provide a performance bond, it's saying that you're going to perform the work according to the contract and you're going to complete it successfully. For the payment bond, It ensures that all owners, the subcontractors and the suppliers and vendors will be paid. So if you fail to pay a subcontractor or a supplier, they're going to come after your payment bond to get the payment. And it also acts as a pre-qualification. So it adds a layer of assurance to the project owner that somebody has vetted you out. In this case, it will be the surety company that will do their due diligence to vet you out and see if you qualify based on the criteria that they're underwriting you in. And once you get approved, that means that you're capable of performing the work successfully. Next slide, please. So our program services include obtaining and increasing your bonding capacity. So if you've never been bonded before, we can help you get that first bond. And if you have been bonded before, we can help you increase your current bonding capacity. We also, offer contractor development, capacity building, and technical assistance. We have a contract-based financing program that you'll hear about in a little bit. We assign you a dedicated contractor development manager, which will be your go-to person with anything that you need, whether it's certification, bonding, anything that you need to get ready to bid on a public project. This person is your go-to person to assist you and guide you through the process. Agency collateral support. So when contractors are trying to qualify for bonds, if they don't meet the underwriting criteria by the surety will most likely require collateral for a contractor to qualify for the bonds. But instead of the contractor putting up their own collateral, the program will put up the collateral on your behalf, which means that we will put up a letter of credit up to $250,000 for you to qualify for bonding. So you don't have to put up your own cash because we know that you're going to need that cash to work on the project. Accounting cost subsidy. So if the surety requires you to provide CPA prepared financial statements, we know that those could be costly. So the program also can assist you by providing you up to $3,200 to get those CPA prepared financial statements. We can work with your current CPA, or we have CPA partners that specialize in construction companies to get those financials that you need to get the bonding. We also have a weekly bid opportunity email that goes out every Wednesday afternoon. So if you're interested in getting on that emailing list, just let us know and we'll put you on the list. Next slide, please. Our technical assistance. So in order to enroll in the program, it's just a one-page enrollment form. Once you enroll, we assign you a contractor development manager. They will set up an assessment meeting to go over the goals for your company and how we can help you achieve those goals. They will create a work plan, like a roadmap with next steps that you will need to take with our assistance to get you ready to bid on public opportunities. We also create a contractor profile that you can use as a marketing tool. It's like a capability statement. We can assist you with certification, bid document review, contract completion support. We also have monthly workshops, which are the last Tuesday of every month on construction-related topics. For this month, we're going to be hosting a Bonding 101 the last Tuesday of this month. So again, if you're interested, just let us know and we'll send you the information. Construction training academies. We have bidding and estimating academy, a contract award and management academy throughout the year. The first one for this year will be starting in February, which is a bidding and estimating. The only requirement to attend is you must have a current contractor's license and you must be enrolled in the program. For a contract award management, you need to be enrolled, you need to have an active contractor's license, and you must either have attended a bidding and estimating academy or be in business 3 years. And then our prime partnership program. So we have partnered with other large primes that are currently working on public opportunities, the large projects. So the Turners of the world, the Skanskas of the world, the PCLs of the world. And one, they are the ones that teach our academies so that you can learn how to work with them and be a subcontractor on their large projects. And they also send us requests when they have bid packages. And we look through our database to provide them with qualified subcontractors so that, you all can take a piece of the pie. There's a lot of work out there, and there's a lot of construction companies that, you're looking for work. So if you are enrolled in the program, we will make sure that we send your information to these large primes so you can get on these projects. Next slide, please. Bid document review. So we attend all upcoming pre-bids that require bonding so that everybody that attends that are planning and bidding on these projects know of us in case you do need assistance with, again, bid document review, financing, bonding. We under our bid document review, we review the plans and specs. We can assist with identifying risk and identifying the required bid documents. We have a field support project manager in our team that is, has many years of experience that can help you and guide you with all these, with bid document review. If you're not the lowest bidder, we can help with a post-bid debrief so that we can see what you did well, what you didn't do well, and what you can do better for the next bid. So again, we can guide you on how to bid on these projects so that the next time you bid, you'll be successful. And then lastly, contract review. So we can set up meetings with you before you sign a contract to make sure that you understand the contract, and we can outline all the important information that you need to know. Next slide, please. Contract completion support. So if you take advantage of the collateral support that I mentioned, our field support project manager will help you and guide you through the life of the project. So he'll set up a job start meeting to go over a checklist to make sure that you have everything in place to start a project. He will send out status reports on a monthly basis to make sure that you, the contractor, and the project owner are on the same page and that there's no issues. And if there are issues, he's here to help you mitigate those issues. He'll do monthly check-ins. He can help with billing and payments, construction schedule. He can even set up site visits if there's any issues. We just want to make sure that the project is progressing satisfactory and that, it's completed with no issues. Change orders, log reviews. We know that there's always issues with change orders. The main thing you need to know is that, do not start any change order work without getting it in writing and approved and signed by the project owner. Next slide, please. So the last thing I want to say is all the services that we provide are free, and please take advantage of the program. Again, we are here to help you be successful. And so the other hurdle that contractors have is contract financing. So I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Janet Ramirez, who's going to go over our CFAP program. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosa. Hi, everyone. My name is Janet Ramirez. I'm the contract financing assistant here for our program. So a little bit about the contract financing assistance program. It was initially rolled out because a lot of contractors have hurdles trying to fund these projects. So some of the first steps that you would need to take is to be enrolled in our contractor development bonding program. You must be a SBE or hold some type of certification. We do offer our CFAP program for our sponsoring agencies, which would be the City of LA, county, LAWA, and Metro. So this program is specifically for construction contracts only. Once we have identified a contract that you are interested in bidding, we suggest that you start getting pre-qualified. Meaning by pre-qualification, it doesn't mean that we'll go ahead and give you a set amount that you would be approved for, but pre-qualification would be us gathering information off of your business, so business organization and background, financial information, and then once we have identified that project, then we'll go ahead and request the project information. Because it does take some time, sometimes businesses are not equipped or have all the information that we are requesting. Since we do use your contract as collateral, we need to make sure that we understand your business background, and we do request financial information because we want to make sure that if something goes wrong on the project, you guys are still able to pay off the loan without this contract in hand. So the funds that are approved for your project are specifically for the project and allocated for the approved project that we reviewed together. The contract is your collateral. And then for this construction program or contracts, the max amount of loan would be $250,000 per project. Let's say you are approved for a $200,000 loan. We will not release the money all up front. So what we do is we will create a cash flow projection for you, and that will help us determine what amount it is that you need. So we'll break down all the cost. And then if the first month you just need $50,000, then we'll go ahead and release those $50,000 first. You are able to use the funds for payroll, so any labor. We're able to pay your vendors, and you are able to use the funds for equipment. It can only be leased or rented equipment. You can't purchase any equipment through this loan. Another requirement is to ensure that we do provide project management, and we'll follow you throughout the duration of your project. We also require third-party funds administration, meaning you will need to open up a separate bank account with City National Bank, and they will go ahead and manage all your funds. So you'll send a request, and the first thing that we will go ahead and pay is whether it's your labor, materials, any vendors, we'll pay them first. If, depending on how the loan is set up, we'll go ahead and pay the lender on a monthly basis on interest only. And then any overhead or profit, we will go ahead and release to you on a monthly basis. With the interest and fees right now, it's really market rate. So depending on who our lender is, we work with community development investment funds, so CDFIs. And typically it's about 9.5% interest and then a 1% origination fee. The fee does not come out of your pocket. It also comes out of the loan proceeds. So we'll break everything out for you. And then once you go ahead and pay off the loan, what happens is it'll be reported to the credit bureau. Your business credit score will boost. So this is also a great way to increase that score so you can eventually get ready to go to a traditional lender, because our goal is for you to increase capacity. So with all of this being said, it's not just about getting the loan to fund your project, but also learning how to cash flow your project, learning how to break out all of your cost, and then making sure that you're making a profit off of these jobs. So if you are interested in this, like Rosa mentioned, there is a contractor development manager that can go ahead and refer you over. But this specific program is for contract financing assistance programs for construction contractors and contracts only. And next slide. So very similar to our first program. This is a newer program that was rolled out by the City of LA. So this program is specifically for City of LA contracts. So City of LA and any of their departments. This program is specifically for professional services. So it can be anything from janitorial services or engineering, design firms, anything that is specific to professional services and non-construction related companies. So with this program, there are a few more requirements. We are partnered with Procure LA, and Pace and Lendistry are our lenders on this program. So some of the requirements are that your business must be bidding on a professional services contract with the City of Los Angeles. Your business must be located in the city or county of LA. And then again, the funds that are approved are going to be allocated specifically for the project or contract that you're interested in, with professional services details attached to that. Again, very similar to our first program, but this was just geared for professional services. The loan amount is a little bit higher than the other one. We do go up to $300,000 per loan per project. And again, not all the funds will be released to you up front. There is still third-party funds administration that's tied to the loan. Interest fees, depending on who the lender is, we will go ahead and disclose all of that information to you. So if you are interested in learning more about this professional services contract financing program, you can go ahead and go to the procurelate.com/financing. And then you'll see all the requirements, which are also listed on this slide. And then you can go ahead and start the pre-qualification process. There'll be a link that says apply here or apply now. Go ahead and click on that, and it'll take you to our online portal where we can start pre-qualifying you and collecting information until we do identify that professional services contract at hand. Next slide. So as we mentioned, all of our services are free. The only thing that you would be paying is repayment of the loan. Other than that, all the technical assistance will be provided to you at no cost. So if you are interested or have any additional questions, please feel free to contact us here. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Rosa. Hold on just a moment. Hi. Okay, so just a quick reminder, after the workshop, we will provide you with this full slide deck, as well as information on how to enroll in the program if you're not yet enrolled in the program. So now, before we go on to hear from our other presenters, we just have one quick poll question. And I'll give you all about 30 seconds to answer. Okay, thank you. Okay, so next up we have Hannah Ali, who's here on behalf of the Department of Public Works, Bureau of Contract Administration, to speak about the many beneficial certifications and how to apply for and take advantage of these in your pursuit of contracts, particularly with Public Works. Welcome, Hannah.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hannah Ali, and I'm a management analyst with the Department of Public Works, is Bureau of Contract Administration. I represent the Office of Contract Compliance, which oversees the certification program for the city. So certifications can assist in boosting your profile when it comes to bidding opportunities. So it's a great tool to utilize in this process. So I'll be giving an overview of the certification programs that the city offers and or recognizes, which fall under a few different categories. Next slide. So the first category of certifications are ownership-based. We have the MBE, the Minority Business Enterprise, the WBE, Women Business Enterprise, the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, DBE, the Airport Concessions Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, ACDBE, and the Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise through the airports. So the last two certifications are with one of our proprietary departments, Los Angeles World Airports. And for this category, the certification must belong to one of the presumed disadvantaged groups that you see listed on the right. And for that particular certification, but should also possess the licenses and the credentials that are required to run that business. So owners must have 51% ownership and control. So for example, your spouse couldn't apply for a certification if they don't have the credentials specific to running that business. And it's also important to note that these certifications are only available for independent for-profit businesses, so they don't apply to nonprofits. Next slide. Our second category of certifications are location-based. So the business must be headquartered in LA County. So we have our local business enterprise, or LBE, local small business, LSB, and our local transitional employer, LTE. So to be considered for an LSB, the previous year's gross income cannot exceed $5 million. Next slide. The last category of our certifications are recognition-based programs. And these certifications are administered by other agencies that the City of LA recognizes. So those certifications include our Small Business Enterprise Proprietary that are used by DWP, the airport, and the Port of LA, the Small Business Enterprise, SBE, the Emerging Business Enterprise, EBE, the Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise, DVBE, and the LGBTE certification as well. So if you have one of these certifications from any of these agencies, you must notify our team so that way we can include it on your RAMP account. Next slide. It's how to apply. So for our certifications, we do have a few that are still required to be submitted by mail. So the ones on the left, the MBE, WBE, and the SBE proprietary are available at the following websites. They're listed and need to be submitted. And then the ones online are on the right-hand side, the DBE, ACDBE, LB, LSB, LTE, DVBE, and the LBE. So they're either on a website or you can apply through RAMP. Next. And if you have any questions, you can go to our website, bca.lacity.org/certification, or email any questions to bca.certifications@lacity.org. And that concludes BCA's portion of the presentation today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Certifications are really critical to our small and diverse contractors, so it's great to find out more about them. Let's move along. Okay, so next up, we welcome Julie from the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power Supplier Diversity Office to share about doing business with DWP and what those opportunities look like, what's upcoming, and how to pursue what's appropriate for you. Welcome, Julie.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Joey Huang. Can you guys hear me okay? Sorry, my mic's a little weird. I'm Joey Huang from the Department of Water and Power from the Supplier Diversity Office. Now, I'm going to go over the how to do business with the LEDWP today and then highlight some opportunities that are upcoming for DWP. Next slide, please. So just a little bit about LADWP. We're one of the largest municipal water and power utilities in the nation. We serve over 4 million residents and businesses in Los Angeles. So with that, we have a ton of contracting opportunities for 2026. Just in 2024, we've awarded over $1 billion in contracts for goods and services. So 2026 is going to be definitely a lot more. Next slide, please. So what we buy materials and equipment. We have a lot of public works construction opportunities and professional service contracts. And we also buy other miscellaneous services. Next slide, please. So in order, for those type of opportunities, we go through two types of solicitation methods. And they're competitive solicitation methods. One is the invitation for bid, which is the IFB. Those are usually awarded to the most responsive and lowest bidder. And for the request, the other one is going to be the request for proposals, which is the RFP. Those are usually have a lot more requirements and they have stages and points for evaluation. So they're not as straightforward as the IFBs, but they have a lot more components involved in those type of solicitations. Okay, next slide, please. So in order to participate in LEWP bidding, you have to be registered under RAMP LA. That's where all of the City of Los Angeles contracting opportunities take place. And you also have to be registered in our DWP's procurement system, which is the Electronic Request Solicitation Procurement System, ERSP. That is where you're going to be submitting all of your bid proposals. So please make sure to register for both RAMP and ERSP in order to see the full details of DWP's procurements. Okay. Next slide, please. So for DWP bids, usually the bids will have a SBE DVBE participation program component in each of the procurement opportunities. Now, it only applies to most contracts over $150,000 for services, construction, and rental with operators. And each of the procurement opportunities will have a contract-specific mandatory SBE and or DVBE participation requirement. The bidder has to meet that minimum requirement in order to be deemed responsive for that proposal. So if you don't meet the SBE DVBE participation requirement, your bid may be deemed non-responsive. So that is a really big component in each of the procurements. As an annual overall goal, LADWP's SBE participation is 25%, and for DVBE participation, it's 3%. Now, this isn't applicable for bid procurements that are strictly for materials, equipment, or bare rentals, or single source solicitations. Okay. Next slide, please. So LEDWP releases a newsletter that gives you an 18-month look ahead of all the upcoming future opportunities for DWP before it even hits RAMP, LA, or ERSP. And on that newsletter, it's called the supply line. It's released quarterly, and it'll give you a heads up of when the advertised date of the procurement will hit RAMP, LA. So please make sure to check out supply line ahead of time because it'll give you a lot more time to prepare for your procurement before it even hits RAMP LA. And then it also gives you a description of what the procurement is about, so you can see ahead of time if you're interested in it. The latest one is was from October 2025, but there will be a new release by the end of January, so please make sure to check it out. If you are registered in Ramp LA or ERSP, you'll get an email when the new version comes out. So please make sure you take a look at that. It might look like a generic email with a link on it, so just be mindful and just kind of check that. But the newest release should give you all the upcoming opportunities for the next 18 months. And there is a lot of opportunities that are coming for that. So please make sure to check it out. Next slide, please. So if you have any questions regarding the SBE-DVB program, please email us at LADWP Supplier Diversity Office, and we can answer those general questions for the Small Business Disabled Veteran Business Program. And if you have any bid questions, please contact the LADWP Vendor Liaison Center. They'll be able to answer you regarding if certain bids are coming up, or if you have any questions regarding like any of the opportunities that were highlighted in the supply line. Okay, next slide, please. Oh, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. And again, if you have any questions for Julie, Hannah, or our next presenters, please stick around to the end and we'll have some Q&A. So we'll keep things moving along. Next up, we have Angela Ragusa with us from the Port of Los Angeles here to speak about lots of exciting happenings and upcoming projects with the port. Welcome, Angela. Oh, I heard you very faintly.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah.
There we go. Okay, I think my microphone was a different piece of equipment. Okay, yes, my name's Angela Ragusa. I'm a civil engineer at the Harbor Department or Port of Los Angeles. I'm going to go over some upcoming construction projects that are going to be available to bid on within the next quarter, essentially. The first one is the Berths 167-169 Marine Oil Terminal Engineering and Maintenance Standards, or MOTEMS Phase 2 at our Shell Oil Terminal. We're expecting this to advertise sometime this month. Approximate construction cost estimate is $10 million. You can go to the next slide, actually. And it consists of replacing current two berth structures with a single structure and demolishing the existing timber wharf and replacing the structure with a new concrete loading platform consisting of trestle, mooring dolphin steel catwalks. Other subcontracting opportunities include installation of steel pipe piles, chain link fencing, electrical, and rubber fenders. Next slide. Change this to two. Here we go. Is our Wilmington Waterfront Park West End restroom and site restoration. Includes new restroom with utility connections, shade structures, landscaping, irrigation, demolition of an existing fountain, other site repairs and removals, and replacement of site furnishings. We're expecting to advertise in February of this year, 2026, with a construction cost estimate of $6.9 million. The next slide and project is the Pier 400 Roadability Canopy Improvements Project. Next slide. Tried to be sly about it. There we go. Replacement of a heavily corroded metal roof and reconstruction of damaged exterior steel frame beams and columns. Painting of steel framing structure, replacement of roof gutters, addition of new splash blocks, and other drainage improvements. Further subcontracting opportunities, like I said, include electrical, painting, roofing, steel, and demolition. We're anticipating advertised February of 2026 with a approximate construction cost estimate of $2.8 million. The next project is a little bit bigger. It's our San Pedro Waterfront, Harbor Boulevard roadway, and 22nd Street parking lot improvements, consisting of developing and redeveloping 17.5 acres of parking improvements for a total of 1,900 parking stalls and further roadway improvements. Work includes grading, demolition, asphalt concrete paving, striping, site lighting, security fencing and cameras, parking ticket dispensers, pay stations, gate arms, cast in place retaining walls, pre-stressed concrete piles, concrete masonry unit, restroom building with utilities, landscaping, and irrigation. We're anticipating advertising in March 2026, and the construction cost estimate is currently $52.2 million. You can move to the next slide. The port is committed to small businesses and recognizes that this significant community resource can contribute to the growth of the Port of Los Angeles and provide economic benefits for the city of Los Angeles. Port of Los Angeles has set an overall goal of 25% for small business participation in port contracts, including 5% very small business enterprise participation. We are also committed to maximizing opportunities for local and regional businesses, as well as encouraging local and regional businesses to locate and operate within the Southern California region. It supports policy to support an increase in local and regional jobs. The port's local business preference program aims to benefit the Southern California region by increasing jobs and expenditures within the local and regional private sector. The construction activity at the Port of Los Angeles is often contracted out through a competitive bid process, and the Port of Los Angeles Bid Management System, or the Construction Division Business Opportunity Network, makes bidding documents promptly available to prospective bidders and notifies all parties of bidding opportunities and addenda to bid documents. Any prospective bidders who are interested in obtaining bidding documents must first register with the CDABP and may learn more information about how to do business with the port by clicking the second link there here on my page. We also have, or the third link, excuse me. I think that concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, you can please let me know. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. We are now moving on to our last presentation of the afternoon from Sophia Cavalli with Los Angeles World Airports to share a bit about what is going on there and how to get involved. Welcome, Sophia.
Thank you, Christy. And before I begin, I want to thank Meriwether and Williams and Council President Harris Dawson for making this afternoon possible, as well as all of the other presenters that have provided so many opportunities. So this is a very exciting time for us here at Los Angeles World Airports. We are under some incredible transformation. For those of you that have been to the airport on and off over the last 2 years, you're seeing all kinds of external facing changes. And we're also top of mind looking at how we can include transformation internally as an organization. So for LAWA, top of mind is not only that we are preparing for the Olympics and building out our infrastructure, but how can we do it in a manner that creates a lasting economic impact for our local community, whether that be the small business community, local workers, and even the workforce of tomorrow, the innovators, potential entrepreneurs. So we are engaging local students as well. So the next slide captures what we are doing as part of the economic impact team. So LAWA's economic impact team is really working very focused in the capital improvement program in the areas of inclusivity and workforce. We're setting standards, we're monitoring compliance, we're making sure that businesses are getting paid promptly, we're engaging with the XBE community, and Meriwether and Williams is certainly an important partner for us as we go out and we have these very large, extensive outreach events. We're measuring the economic impact, and that gets reported at the highest levels of the organizations and then to the board and all the way up to the CEO. So all levels of the organization are really looking at, again, how can we leave a lasting impact in the community? And then we're embedding best practices real time. And the next slide is going to capture all the ways that the industry's largest and most complex capital program, where we're focused. So we have the terminal development program, and you can see the various terminals there. We have airport development program, new roads and improvements, the LAX wayfinding program, so all the signage around the airports impacting the passengers coming in and their experience as they move through the airport. We have the landside access modernization program, the automated people mover. We're all looking forward to that coming online. We have the airfield and terminal modernization program. And then lastly, the LAX landscape program. Now, the next slide captures the various buckets where all of these programs are falling. Next slide, please. Here we go. So these are the programs that LAWA is targeting to be operational in time for the Olympics by 2028. And so again, these projects and programs are all falling under terminals, the landslide access program, and the airside and taxiway runways. Next slide, please. So as we already discussed, as far as the economic impact, we are addressing that in a number of different areas, very multifaceted approach. So LAWA projects are going to have a small business participation requirement. We are also looking to have our large prime contractors mentor XBE firms. So this is an opportunity for those of you that are here on the call in the construction side of things. You have the opportunity to be mentored. We're making sure that prompt payment is tracked and part of their contract as well. Capacity building. LAWA has a higher LAX program that gets individuals in the community ready to be able to entry into an apprenticeship. And so for those of you that are interested in hiring first-term apprentices, I strongly encourage you to consider hiring a graduate. It's a very rigorous program, and they graduate with OSHA and CPR certification. So again, I encourage you to take a look at that. Local hiring requirements are also part of our projects. We do have a project labor agreement. Now, the next slide, I'm going to share some of our outcomes. But before we move on to that slide, I mentioned the local youth. So one of the components that, again, are large firms that are doing work here at the airport, we're asking them to have internships, student internships. It's important that we're building the future workforce. And then under K through 12 STEM education, LAWA has a youth impact program, and over the last 2 years, we've reached over 7,300 students all across Los Angeles. Last year alone, we had 54 of our industry partners participating. So again, this is something that we're looking to leave a lasting legacy here in the community. Now, the next slide captures impact as it relates specifically to local workers. So you can see here a tremendous amount of local workers have participated on LAWA projects and the number of hours. So this is such an important impact for what we're doing as we build projects. And next slide, please. So now on to our active projects. So we have a number of projects here. I already mentioned the wayfinding program. So the contractor for that program is WebCore. We have the AT&T roads projects, and we have Skanska Flatiron Team, the LAX landscape program, Hensel Phelps, and then we have various MATOP projects, which I'm going to talk about in much more detail. So for these projects listed here, if you would like an introduction to any of these firms, I can do an introductory email or provide you that contact information for those firms. So moving on to the next slide, let's go ahead and dive into our MATOC. So LAWA awarded over 30 firms as part of a multiple award task order contract. And those firms are falling under 3 different categories: large, mediums, and small firms. So this was a new way for us to go out into the marketplace and include as many firms as possible, both small, large, and medium, to be able to move forward quickly, nimbly, in time for the Olympics, and also have a maximum impact with our local community. So the next slide here is going to show you the categories, the pools. So again, these 31 qualified firms now are in the various pools. So we have a horizontal projects pool, we have a vertical project pool, construction and design build. Now, some of these firms are in multiple pools and some are just in 1 or 2. So moving on to the next slide, I strongly encourage you to go ahead and look at this QR code and go to the web page. So this web page is exclusively dedicated to what is happening in regards to this May talk. So again, very large opportunities here between now and the Olympics. We have approval of up to $5 billion. So there's a lot of activity happening. So when you go to the web page, you'll be able to access who are the contractors, what pools are they under, what's the look ahead, and then the specific task orders. So this next slide is actually going to show you one of the categories, and you have them listed here in terms of where they fall as far as large, medium, small. You have the point of contact and the email. So this individual has been assigned from this particular company as the subcontracting contact. So they're going to be replying back to you if you reach out to them. Now, the next slide captures some of the outcomes. So what has happened since we have gone out to the marketplace? And so it's going to show you, next slide, please. It's going to show you what some of those outcomes are. So looking at the very bottom here, we have T5, and you can see that Hensel Phelps was awarded $1.2 billion. So they are actually having a outreach for the small business community next week on Wednesday. So if you would like that information, please reach out to me and I'll provide that for you. And my contact information is coming up soon. And then as you can see here towards the bottom again, we have a number of firms. So we have Mata, we have Premier, we have Birdie, 3 Squared, the ones that are highlighted here in bold, they've all been awarded. Those are all small businesses. And then as you go up here, there's some additional awards. Now at the top, those are firms that are part of the bidding pool. These have not been selected yet, but they're in the evaluation process or solicitation process. So all of this information's on the website. So again, I strongly encourage you to go to the QR code, go to the website and track all of that. So you can see, so if there's a particular task order that's of interest to you, then you can go to that list. You know exactly who you can contact about that. So this was very important to us to make sure that the industry had this information at their fingertips. Now, the next slide is my contact information. So if you would like me to make an introduction to any of the firms that were selected, you can let me know that. If you want information regarding the upcoming outreach event that's taking place next week, or just other assistance with small business resources, please feel free to reach out. So with that, Christy, I will turn it back over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And thanks for making yourself available to the contractors for any questions or any additional support. Before we do the Q&A, we have a short recorded testimonial from one of our CDAP contractors, Juan Garcia, the president of PG Cutting Services, just someone who's worked through the program and taken advantage of some of the different offerings.
My name is Juan Garcia. I'm the owner and CEO of PG Cutting Services. So we've attended several workshops, estimating workshops, bonding workshops. Every now and then we'll get an invitation from the City of LA's bonding program. And every time that we do, we attend. First and foremost, the program allowed us to create a capability statement, which we didn't have. And it made us realize how we can introduce our company to our potential clients. The program also put us in a database that allowed us to have more exposure until we started working with the program and started getting the exposure and getting on these bigger projects. Then we had a need, and the program allowed us, or helped us actually, get our first performance bond. Through that, we've been able to get on the higher profile projects. Since we've been involved with the program, we've been able to grow, and that has resulted in creating more jobs. I would say we've created 10 new jobs in the last 2 years as a result of the program. The program is there to help us, to help all small contractors. It's free of charge because the city is doing this to help small business. It works. And I understand everybody's time is valuable, so is mine. And I've invested the time, and the payoff has been tremendous. It's very important for us to have the city and Metro and other agencies like the county and the airport invest in programs like this to help contractors like us. I just want to say to the city of Los Angeles and the program, thank you for doing this. It's helped our business. I'm sure it's helped other businesses, and I'm sure it'll continue to help other businesses in the future.
Okay, with that, I will turn it over to Johanna Lee Penn on our team, who'll read off any questions that are in the chat or questions that you all have that you'd like to direct to any of our presenters from today. So, Johanna, you can take it away.
Hi. So a question is, for contracting, does company need to be a certain entity? Does anyone in the presenter, the panelists would like to answer this question?
So this is Sophia from LAWA, and I would say, can the individual that wrote that question provide a little bit more explanation about that? So when they say, do they need to be a certain entity, just can you provide a little bit more specific information about that?
And then we could move back to that question. So the next question would be general business insurance requirement to participate in the LA City contract. Was Mario? I'm assuming he's asking if do you need general business insurance requirements to participate in the LA City contracts? And anyone and any one of the panelists can answer as well too. Thank you.
This is Sophia again from Law. I'll
you.
just communicate that it's really going to vary by individual type of procurement and contract. So as far as specific insurance requirements, it's going to vary. So I would say just make sure you go back to the solicitation documents, and it's going to clarify the specific types of insurance that's required. It's going to vary by agency, it's going to vary by department, but usually you can find that in the procurement documents. If not, it can be a question that's asked throughout the process, but generally it's included because there's a cost associated with it. And so that's included in whether it's a bid or whether it could be an ITB, hard bid, it could be different forms of procurement. And so because there's a cost associated with it, I would say almost always it's going to be provided in those documents.
Thank you, Sophia. And here's another question for you. For Sophia, are there opportunities for fields other than construction, specifically information technologies /software / mobile application in the airport development portfolio?
So that's a question that I would say it depends. It's any procurements of that nature will be on our 18-month look ahead. So for the individual that has that question, you can send me an email and I'll send you a link to that 18-month look ahead. We have a May talk that might be covered under that. So that's why it's also, it depends on what it falls under. So if you send me an email, I'll send you the 18-month look ahead, and then I can also direct you to a specific person in procurement that might be able to answer that question for you.
Thank you. And now I'm moving on to the chat. There are some questions there. So I'm looking at Mia. So hello, Ms. Cavelli. I have sent a personal email of introduction to every single contractor on the vertical contracting list. And out of the tens of contractors, only one person responded. What is the best way to get the attention of the primes in order to introduce all that my company has to offer as a general contractor?
You for that question. And I think that we can talk about this in more length if you send me an email, we can go into more of a deep dive because I have specific questions for you. So because of the task orders, you might be reaching out to a firm that doesn't have a task order yet. So I don't know if that was happening. So again, I have many questions for you, and I'd be happy to follow up with you and go into a deep dive of who you've contacted and specifically what the circumstances are. And then I can help you follow up. So yes, I'd be happy to talk about this with you in more detail.
Then the next question. There's some questions regarding getting more information. Company and films in town. Okay. Let's go to Lawrence. Are there opportunities of fire protection engineering service providers?
Is this a question for all agencies, or I'm assuming?
Didn't have any one they were gearing towards in the
I would say that answer would be yes for just about every department.
yes.
It just depends on, again, the type of project, and then you would want to go to the bidders. Again, it's going to vary by department, by agency, but you would want to know on a given project by basis, contract by contract basis, if it's applicable, and you would reach out up during that process. So I'd be happy to have a more extended conversation with the individual that posed that question.
And then the next question from Sean Holman. I offer vendor/business matchmaking services and business management. So there is a lot of overlap with what I can provide. I'm in the process of certification, but is there anything else I should be considering to partake in the opportunities you share here? This is up to everyone presenters today. If anyone wants to answer that questions. And then, so we'll move on to another question then. Is there, let's see, all right, chat's moving up some. Are there any opportunities for janitorial services? That's from Maria.
I'll answer that question, Johanna. I think you guys should go on to RAMP website. They'll have all of the opportunities there for the city of LA, even opportunities that you might not think would be on there. Just go ahead and do a search on there, and we'll go ahead and put that website on there for you, but it would have all the city of LA's opportunities for contracting with them.
Thank you, Janet. Another question is there someone that can assist with estimating public works dealing with underground utilities?
I'll answer that one. So our program can only guide you. We don't provide any estimating services just because that would be a conflict of interest. So Meriwether would not be able to assist on that part.
Thank you. And then another question for LAWA projects. Are there subcontracts for fiscal monitoring, internal controls, 2 CFR 200 compliance for any of these projects? Yeah, SPE.
Yeah, thank you for the question. This is Sophia from LAWA, and I would say that, again, please send me an email and we can schedule time for a call and I can show you like where to go. And that's more of a longer conversation, but the answer is yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Sophia. I think that's it for the questions. If we didn't get to you, please do email the panelists. The information will be there after the presentation. I mean, their contact information will be emailed out to you guys. And then Janet placed, she already put the link to the ramp, so you can utilize that. Sorry, and I'll hand it back to you. Thank you.
rampla.org is a great resource and a place where you'll find the opportunities with all of with the port and with LAWA and LADWP as well as others. And you can search by your specialty. So with that, I will say thank you all for joining us this afternoon. And we will be sending out the slide deck as well as information as to how to enroll in the program. We have these workshops throughout the year, and we hope that you will join us. Again, the presentation will be, I do see a few notes in there where people are asking if the presentation is going to be posted. Since you had to register to join this workshop today, you'll receive the presentation, the recording, as well as the deck. And you can reach out to the panelists with their email addresses and click on all of the links provided and everything like that. So with that, thank you very much. Thank you so much to our panelists and to the Harris Dawson team for supporting us in this workshop, and have a great new year.